retailers. Dodgers and Rangers ready to play the second and final game of this series. And as usual, we focused on the division picture off of the top. But a funny thing has happened over the last week or so. While the Dodgers have gotten hot, Milwaukee's come back to earth. Philadelphia's come back to earth. And it no longer looks like the only way for a team out of the West to get in is to win the division. It looks like the West has a chance now to get 2 teams in, perhaps as one of the wild cards.
When you get into a battle like this against multiple teams, the only way to make up ground in a hurry is to be undefeated. And that's what the Dodgers have done over this stretch. They continue this hot streak tonight and then into Arizona. Those standings are going to go upside down pretty soon.
And of course, the goal remains to win the division, but it is nice to see that that is becoming somewhat of a possibility for a National League West team as well. Dodgers trying to match his season-high 5-game winning streak tonight. Here's the lineup that'll try and get it done for Dave Roberts, with Brian Dozier having homered last night, leading things off in this one. Justin Turner gets a day off from the field to do the DHing out of the 2 spot. That means Machado plays third. Kemp is in left. Hernandez is in center, and Chris Taylor starts for Machado at short. Puig's in there after having last night off. Cody Bellinger, the lone left-handed hitter in the lineup against the lefty Minor, with Yasmani Grandal hitting 9th and catching. Mike Minor is a former highly touted prospect out of the Braves organization, but then he missed 2 full seasons because of shoulder surgery. Came back last year in Kansas City's bullpen, had a good year, back into the rotation with Texas, and struggled over the first couple of months. But yeah, last few months he's been their best guy.
He's changed the arsenal a little bit. Not the pitches, but the location, throwing his changeup more inside to righties. It's not an off-speed changeup where it's soft. It's more of a power changeup. And then he's backdooring his cutter to right-handers and throwing his fastball into them instead of the cutter in. And it's really, the equation has been really good for him over the last few starts. Righties are only hitting just under 200 against him. So those kind of splits where he can get lefties out and then dominate right-handers have really helped him with results.
He's hoping that he gets a little better defense behind him tonight than the Rangers had last night. And that had been one of their strengths in recent weeks, but committed 3 errors in game 1, contributing to that Dodgers 8-4 win. That's brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. The Rangers have been in last place every day since April 9th. While they've shown some good signs in recent weeks, sliding again, they've lost 6 of their last 9. Brian Dozier to lead things off, ready to go on another warm night. I don't think it's quite as warm as last night. It was 96 at first pitch. First pitch tonight is on the corner for strike 1, and off we go from Texas. Brian's home run last night was his first one since August 9th. And then 0-1, he foul tips it 0-2. And it was the new guys, Oral. I mean, he had up and down the lineup guys reaching, but between Machado and Dozier, 6 of the RBIs.
Everybody in the lineup got a hit except for Yasmani Grandal of the starters. And it was a full team effort, but there was a lot of focus on the production from Dozier and Machado.
1-2. The Dodgers during this 4-game winning streak, 31 runs scored after they were silenced by St. Louis in the 3-game sweep last week. Dozier gets under it, and a lazy pop-up on the infield. Guzman lost it. Thankfully for him, Odor is there. And Dozier the first out of the night. Final interleague game of the season, and final opportunity for Dave Roberts to get one of his everyday position players a chance to DH.
Get Justin off his legs a little bit. Hope he runs the bases a lot tonight, but he's one of those guys that we've watched run out balls and hustle, but it's not at his full speed. He's probably still nursing some aches and pains below the waist. But it sure hasn't affected his stroke. Boy, he has been solid, and to be as hot as he's been in August, you have to have health on the lower half to build that foundation.
And an 0-1 pitch. He swings and misses, strike 2. This is the best calendar month of his career when it comes to his cumulative hits. Two more of them last night, including the double. On this 0-2 from Minor, he strikes out swinging, 2 gone.
Seeing some velocity out of Minor. Last year, a reliever, the velocity played up with short-term outings, but now as a starter, 129 innings coming into tonight, only in the 70s last year as far as innings. So the Rangers expected maybe him to kind of tail off, but he hasn't. He's actually gotten hotter and better and maintained that velocity, even though he's passed his innings from last year.
It's interesting. You see that happen to a lot of guys where it just unlocks something mentally, it seems like, more than anything.
They take the governor off when they go to the bullpen, and then they find out when they come back to the rotation they can pitch that way, and they can actually get to 100, 110 pitches, and they don't run out of gas. I think it's like working out.
How do you know?
But I think it's like working out in the way that, you know how you push yourself through those painful, tired times, and then all of a sudden 3-4 workouts later, it's like, oh, I can do this.
And I'm obviously kidding with you. I know
got
you had a time where working out was a big part of what you did. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, Manny Machado.
It's creeping up on me again, Joe.
I know, it's coming back. I'll be grinding every day.
Set my 6th deadline to start working out.
Machado fouls it back 1-2. Machado continued his recent hot stretch last night, driving in 4. Manny had a 2-week stretch early on this month where he didn't have a single RBI. He's got 16 in his last 12 games now. Obviously, part of that is what's happening in front of you. Part of it is Manny's just been swinging it better, feeling more comfortable. Also lines up with him moving down in the order behind Justin Turner. 1-2. Hard hit, foul.
During the stretch that he wasn't driving anybody in, you also can drive yourself in, or you go look at the slug stat. And so for him not to have hardly any, it tells me also that the swing wasn't right. It wasn't just situational driven. Like if he had 4 solo shots, you go, okay, there's the problem.
Right. Minor delivers. Machado takes it inside. Well, during that same time frame, exactly to your point, he's hit 5 home runs in these 12 games, and in that 2-week stretch when there were no RBIs, obviously no home runs. So the power has come at the same time that those RBI totals have. On a 2-2, Machado fouls it again down the right field line.
When you trade for somebody, or you sign a free agent, or you call a guy up from the minor leagues, they're not all of a sudden just going to be themselves. Sometimes guys get off the hot streak. Sometimes all of a sudden it just feels so comfortable and they never miss a beat. But you have to give him a beat every once in a while to say, you know what, he's getting comfortable in a Dodger uniform, getting comfortable around his teammates.
Minor gets him swinging and finishes the Dodgers in order in the first. Alex Wood ready to take it after 8 days of rest, trying to bounce back from a rare bump for him. It's been such a good last couple of months for number 57. His next start right after this. Shin-Soo Choo to lead it off, and then Rougned Odor and Elvis Andrus. Mazzara, Beltre, and Profar in the middle. Kiner Falefa, Guzman, and Tochi round things out. Against Alex Wood, who on Monday against St. Louis lasted only 4 innings. It was the first time in more than 2 months that he hadn't gone 5 full. It wasn't a horrible outing, just what we'd come to expect from him for such a long stretch. His first pitch tonight misses to Choo.
He has had such a good second half.
On the corner with that one, 1-1. The 10 starts prior to Monday. He had a 2.43 ERA. There's 1-1. Chopped over Machado and into left. Sure board for the first time in this series. Dodger defense tonight brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Machado with majority of those starts coming with Turner on the disabled list towards the end of July. He's played a bunch of both of those spots over the course of his major league career.
We heard about his soft, quick hands before he got over here. We knew about the rifle arm, but I've really watched a lot of great footwork from Manny Machado, and he's credited Chris Woodward a lot of times with the positioning.
Here's Odor. One ball, no strikes. Yeah, part of it the positioning, part of it just the whole idea of anticipating a little bit better. That's something Chris Woodward was always very good at when he was a player. Chris would tell you, not as gifted as Manny. Not many are. But because he wasn't the most gifted guy, he had to do whatever he could to get a little bit of advantage. That's a strike, 1-1. One of those things was to try to be totally dialed into every pitch, what the pitcher was throwing, what the location was going to be, and what the tendencies of the hitters meant for where he should start to lean, where that first bit of footwork should go. Woods 1-1. Foul 1-2.
It's always easier to play behind pitchers that hit their spots.
Yeah.
That confidence that you get of knowing they're going to be on one side of the plate or the other. They're going to be down, they're going to be up, and all of a sudden that information, you really have good anticipation and confidence when you go to make that break.
Bouncing ball to second. Dozier double clutches, gets it to Machado, but that double clutch means that they get just the force.
At first blush, it looked like the ball rolled up Dozier's glove a little bit. I don't know if he was trying to deflect it into his toss hand on purpose, or he just kind of got it. And with Manny coming from a little bit of a funky angle right there, that also might have got him. Yeah, I don't think he had a grip. The ball was coming out the back half. Almost, his index finger almost lost it.
One on, one out, and Elvis Andrus is the hitter. 10-year veteran takes a strike. And as the Rangers rebuild things, Andrus signed long-term, so he'll be one of the cornerstones of the rebuild. Well, it doesn't seem like that long ago that this was a perennial postseason team. In fact, last year was the first time they'd missed the playoffs in 3 years. Ball on a strike. And 5 trips in a 7-year span. Back-to-back pennants in 2010 and 11, and of course that heartbreaking loss in the World Series against St. Louis. Andrus was a part of that team. 1-2. You were doing that World Series for ESPN Radio. That Game 6 in St. Louis, one of the greatest baseball games in modern history, this century.
David Freese hitting that ball. He hit a few balls in that series.
2-2. Well, he had the triple off of the wall to force extra innings, and then he had the walk-off home run later in the night. Odor leaning at first as Wood gets ready. That brings a 2-2. That's tapped foul.
Alex has thrown some really good sliders here early on. That's a pitch that he was really grinding on in his last outing. It wasn't his sharpest.
Yet he threw it a bunch. Season high 52% of the time.
Normally just under 40 or so, but yeah, he threw an extra few, I think, trying to find the release point.
Well, it's Andrews to chase a high fastball. 2 gone.
That was good elevation from Alex Wood. When he is on, fastballs that he elevates are on purpose. When he's not throwing it well, they'll be up there and there'll be mistakes out of sequence, but that was perfect.
We were talking about the last start. Well, the breaking ball wasn't sharp. Fastball got knocked around pretty good by St. Louis.
Yeah, he was just a little off. His rhythm, his timing, he was fighting it most of the outing. And it could have gotten rescued by the Dodgers or by himself, but it's just one of those ones that was so frustrating.
2 gone first inning. Nomar Mazara takes a strike over the inside. 4 for his last 26. So it's a little bit deceiving that he's gotten a hit 12 of the last 14. Single hit night scattered through there. Wood quickly ahead, 0-2.
Filling the strike zone up. That's when Alex Wood is at his best. He does not need to be effectively wild. Last year it seemed like he could just dial that knee-high strike up with either the breaking ball, changeup, or fastball. It was a little bit of a struggle to do that in the first half, but here in the second half has been much better. Lowered his ERA over 1.5 first half to second half.
Do the 0-2 again.
And I don't mean the overall ERA as much as the separate portions. The first half ERA compared to the second half ERA.
And if the postseason were to begin today and the Dodgers were in the postseason, Wood would be part of a conversation for the 4th starter. The way it looks right now, you've got Kershaw, Hill, and Buehler in some order, and then a handful of guys that you could make a case for the 4th starter. Wood would be one of them. Here's his 0-2. Do it again.
When you get into any series, but especially a postseason series, and you are scheduled 3 or 4 days from now, and it's your day you might want to throw your side work or have a heavy catch session, you're usually asked to do that kind of throwing after the game is underway and in control, or maybe even after the game you throw your side session, because there's a possibility for that day or the next day you might be in the pen.
And so much of the decisions when it gets to that part of the season, and even during the regular season, is who you're facing. So the Dodgers may not even know who that 4th starter would be based off of performance, all things equal, relatively equal when it comes to performance, until they see who that game would be against.
So I'm assuming you got Kershaw, Buehler, and Hill
in some order, right?
Yep.
Kershaw, you would assume, game 1. Bounce to Bellinger at first. He'll step on the bag and finish a scoreless first inning. Off and rolling here in game 2 between the Dodgers and the Rangers. Heart of the order coming up in the second. Scoreless to the second. Matt Kemp, who now spends his off seasons in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, will lead things off. Oh, a bunch of family here to watch Matt in this series. Goes after the first pitch and sends a towering fly ball to center, but he just missed it. Carlos Tocci will catch it. 1 pitch, 1 out for Minor. Up comes Kike Hernandez, and he is the subject of our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. Back-to-back 3-hit games for Kike. He had 2 3-hit games all year prior to this 2-game stretch.
Defensively, we talk about Kike. He is all over the field, plays every position at a very high level. Well, now, as an offensive player, he is all over the field. He's using right field, center field. He's using the placement of hitting the ball over the fence also.
18 home runs. That's career high. Here he takes strike one. And it's not just been the last 2 games. In this month of August, Hernandez is hitting above 360, which is among the best in the National League. Ball on a strike. Strike 2.
If he continues to do well and finish up strong through September and hopefully October, he's going to tip the hat and shake the hand of Chase Utley for the impact he's made on his daily thoughts, going about his business, the food he puts in his body, the rest that he gets, the mental approach.
Another 1-2 to him. Painted at 95 by Minor. 2 out.
Rangers are watching after Minor, the innings total. But I'll tell you right here today on 6 days rest, he is locked in. This is going to be a challenge the way he's thrown the ball so far.
Best the Rangers have to offer. A rotation that on the season has an ERA of 5.5, worst in baseball. No score, second inning. Here's Chris Taylor taking strike one. Happy 28th birthday to Chris, who homered on his birthday last year against Godley in Arizona. It's a high drive to left center field, way back there, but this Park's going to swallow it up, and it just is not flying the same way that it normally does here. This Park gives up more home runs than any other in baseball. That one dies on the warning track.
Friday on an all-new episode of Backstage Dodgers, follow the story of a young baseball standout whose love for the Dodgers led to a special bond with one of his favorite players. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac. Friday after the postgame on SportsNet LA.
Adrian Beltre leading off this second inning against Alex Wood. One for 4 in last night's game. Has always hit his old team well. 375 lifetime against the Dodgers.
Adrian's always been susceptible to being a free swinger, especially the ball up in the zone. You look the way he keeps his chin down on his front shoulder and the helmet pulled down so he can't see that high pitch. He tries to kind of eliminate that portion of his vision so that he's not as susceptible to chasing those.
Chases here like hitters do more often against Alex Wood than just about anybody in baseball. And Alex has his second strikeout tonight.
It's easy to compliment this breaking ball tonight. It is very sharp and late, and it has great finish. Completely different than what we've seen, even in a few starts. This is one of the better ones he's had all year.
No score in the second. Jurickson Profar, the hitter. He takes ball one. Profar, the everyday third baseman at this point. With Beltre's hamstring issues, he's been DHing primarily. 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Turks and out of Curacao, grew up right next to Andrelton Simmons. These guys used to play as much soccer against one another as they played baseball together. To strike 3-1. Down the road from there was D.D. Gregorius, the Yankees shortstop, and of course Kenley Jansen up in Curacao as well. On a 3-1 pitch, he smacks one through the box and into center, base hit.
Almost got it. That ball was scorched.
Second hit against Alex Wood tonight brings up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Super utility man is doing more and more catching lately for Texas. One of the many rookies that they're basically trying out at this point. See what kind of role they can play as they move into the future. That's up the middle and another base hit into center. Back-to-back one-out singles.
Using the middle of the field, staying on an off-speed pitch, not trying to do too much with it. Pulled it, but was on time enough not to roll over it. Very close to being a double play ball right at the shortstop. Was able to keep his timing back a little bit. Got it up the middle.
One youngster to another, though you wouldn't know it by looking at this guy. 6'5", 225-pound Ronald Guzman. Strike one. Had a good night last night. 2 for 4, drove in a pair. Ground ball, perfectly positioned. Taylor steps on the bag and throws for a double play. And that's the inning. Through a 2. No score.
Chili cheese dog. Wow. For the whole family.
Yeah, there's footlongs and then there's that.
I think they ordered extra cheese.
That's a yard long. Yasiel Puig to lead off the third for the Dodgers. Still looking for their first base runner against Mike Minor. Who delivers a fastball high, 1-0. He said he's been much better the last few months after a rocky start, but especially good when you break it down to his start since the All-Star break. 4-0 with a sub-3 earned run average. Buzzes him inside here, ball 2. Most recently against a good Oakland A's lineup, 6 shutout innings, just 1 single with those 6. 30-year-old out of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. It's Puig to pop it up. At first, it's Guzman. Now, Minor, about a decade ago, is one of the top prospects in baseball. 7th overall pick of the draft. Went to Vanderbilt. Got drafted by his boyhood team, the Atlanta Braves. Made his major league debut a year later. Pitched 5 seasons for the Braves. Then had that shoulder surgery and has been trying to get back since. With one gone in the third, his first one to Cody Bellinger is crushed. Straightaway center. At the wall. And gone. First base runner of the game for the Dodgers is much more than that, as Bellinger hits his 21st of the season to open the scoring.
Cody, the only left-handed hitter in the Dodger lineup. And through this hot streak for Minor, he's actually been better against righties than lefties, and Bellinger shows him why. High fastball. Boy, did he get on top of that and crush it. And again, there is no jet stream here. He turned around some wind in the face of that ball.
0-2 on Grandal. So the Dodgers strike first in this one. Looking for a 5th consecutive win, which would match a season high. Colorado's off tonight. They're tied with Arizona for first. Arizona will play San Francisco in just a little bit. How about Arizona? 23 consecutive scoreless innings.
Their bats have gone asleep, and it's a wrong time of the season for that to happen when you're in a 3-team race.
Ran themselves out of a few opportunities late last night against the Giants. And all down on strikes, 2 away.
This is the portion of the season for the Dodgers that should be called taking care of business. Playing these teams that they should beat, and they are doing it. And now here in the last game of this string of weaker teams with Padres and now the Rangers, up 1-0 with a chance to finish off the task.
Second trip to the order. Dozier takes ball 1. I can't hear you say that without starting to hum the song to myself. Taking care of business.
Bachman Turner overdrive?
Is it?
I think so.
Good call.
I don't know. We'll find out after the game when we look at our Twitter accounts.
2-0.
Almost positive PTO. Oh, I got a thumbs up. I got a lot of confidence now for the rest of the broadcast, kind of like when you throw your first good curveball.
2-1.
To just try and get through this broadcast without getting a lock in, Hershiser.
I'm very confident you're going to do that.
All right.
Just can't get you looking ahead to the big Arizona series. I don't want this to be a trap game for you.
Could be some trap innings ahead.
Dozier popped up on the infield his first time. And the hitters count here, waiting on a 3-1. He grounds it foul, full count. Mike Minor rocks and deals. Dozier takes the walk, first of the game for the Dodgers.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
Inning kept alive for Turner. Struck out his first time. Pumps the first one foul.
Got a pitch to hit. Inner half where he likes it, and not on the corner. He was all over this, just barely missed it. Put that swing in a mirror, it might be the prettiest swing in baseball. Just so happens to be right-handed, so it can't be.
It's just not fair.
We haven't figured it out. We've talked about it Why is the left-handed swing prettier? I have no idea. It's prettier when you hit it where he did.
Yeah, that helps. Just misses here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Is a left-handed delivery any prettier than a right-handed delivery, you think?
Maybe a little. Maybe it's just because it's odd. There's
Rare.
fewer.
Yeah. On a 1-1, Turner takes strike 2.
That'd be a good Twitter survey. Somebody probably has a very eloquent answer of why it seems prettier.
Or does it? Does it to you too at home?
That's
true,
just
too.
crazy. A little too much assumption there on my part.
1-2.
We already know the answer to the second half of that question. Are we crazy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can just let's work on left-handed being pretty.
Perfect.
Now you got me grinding on the Arizona series just by bringing it up.
It's gonna be fun.
It is. It's going to be amazing. If you don't have your tickets yet, you got to get your tickets to those games.
And I saw last night and during the pregame show today, they mentioned $5 tickets available for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Obviously a steal.
It's a lot of baseball and a lot of good baseball. Important baseball.
They tell me you can go to Dodgers.com/determined to take advantage of that offer. Another 1-2 to Turner and another foul ball. There's that link.
I love the determined video at home on the big screens with Tommy's voice. They do some amazing things up on the screens there. Greg Taylor and his crew putting everything together to music, and it creates a lot of excitement. Draws you in.
Another 1-2 and another foul ball. That's the 5th in a row.
And the Rangers in a rebuilding year, and maybe 2 years. They control Mike Minor for another 2 years, and so with that they will be very gentle with his pitch count and extending him the rest of this year. They want him to continue to learn and feel good, but also don't want to overuse him where all of a sudden he has a flat tire next year.
He actually went public earlier this year saying he doesn't really understand that thought, so that screwed things up a little bit. Another 1-2. And Turner takes it inside 2-2. Said they've basically told him only that they're trying to protect him, not why or what exactly that looks like. That came earlier on when things weren't going real well for him. He's in a better state of mind with this recent run. Said he can't wait to start looking towards next year. Here's his 2-2. Turner fouls it again. Next pitch would be the 10th to number 10. Dozier off of first. Here's another. To the back door to get him. But the Dodgers get Minor first. Bellinger with his 21st of the season. The dead central. And to the bottom of the 3rd we go. The Dodgers 1, the Rangers nothing. Cody Bellinger's home run has the Dodgers on the board first in this one to the bottom of the third. Carlos Tocci starts his inning against Wood looking at a strike. Yet another rookie. He drives the ball in the air to center, but no big deal for Kike Hernandez. Alex Wood is once through the order. Given up 3 hits, couple of strikeouts. What have you thought overall so far?
Thought he's been very sharp, especially the breaking ball has been outstanding. The changeup's been a little up to the arm side. And the fastball location has been very good. Got a couple of hard hit balls up the middle off him, but you know what? That's going to happen. You know, you're not going to just go through him like a buzzsaw. But he's been very good to get right back on track and get him out.
Shin-Soo Choo had a 16-game on-base streak, snapped with an 0 for 5 last night. Started a new one with a leadoff single today. Pretty cool thing. A lot like Nick Markakis in the National League. You have Choo as a 36-year-old in his 14th year making the All-Star game for the first time. Native of South Korea. Signed his first major league contract 18 years ago. On a 1-1 from Wood. He punches it left side. Machado on kind of a weird one. Has it with the backhand, throws him out. Two up, 2 down for Wood, and up comes Odor. Chopper to second. Dozier's got it. Alex Wood has his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. We go to the 4th in Texas. In today to the BMW Summer On Sales event for exceptional offers. Details at SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Boy, Jerry's World is something, huh? We're adjacent to it here. Manny Machado gets ready to lead off the 4th.
There's one large building. Here there's a big screen there in the middle.
Huge. It's almost like you don't even want to watch the game in front of you, the real game. You want to watch the video board.
My son's been there. I've talked to people who've been there, and they say, yeah, it's really hard to watch the game.
Machado swings at the first pitch, sends a bullet to center. Tocci to the wall. It's gone. First pitch swinging. Soto shot to dead center for the 2nd time in the last 2 innings against Mike Minor. First it was Bellinger. Now it's Manny.
Bellinger's was 21 on the Volkswagen replay. We are looking at Manny Machado's 32nd and 87th RBI of the season. Driving in himself.
Yeah, bringing up Kemp, who takes the ball. 6th home run in Machado's last 11 games. Ball on a strike on Kemp. We were talking about it at the start of the San Diego series. While Machado's numbers with the Dodgers were good, they're well above average, they were still well below the numbers he had put up in the first half with Baltimore. That's pumped down the right field line, fading, foul. And so to think that there was more in there wasn't a crazy notion. last few days, I think you're starting to see a little more of that first half Machado.
He was the crown jewel of the trading season, and he's starting to really polish everything up right now. It's exciting to watch him play. Huge impact player. He gets it going the way he has right now. Opposing pitchers are like, where am I in the lineup and when does he come up?
One, two. Count, pulls it to third, caught by Profile. Is he the guy right now? Is Machado the guy right now that you circle and say he can't beat us? Or is that the problem when the lineup's clicking? There's not just one.
Exactly, because most of the time during the year when the Dodgers have been boom or bust, it has been the lineup hits or only these two guys hit. And sometimes the two guys have been Muncy Kemp, sometimes have been Turner and Bellinger, sometimes now lately been a little bit of Dozier and Machado. Right now, I'm not sure you can pick one for the whole lineup. You might have to pick one in each half of the lineup and then see how your innings go. You might have to wait for the jam where first base is open, and then you have to, the old saying, pick your poison.
Hernandez with the bases empty and one out. Takes ball two. There has to be an uncomfortable thing sitting there the days leading up to your start as a pitcher, taking a look at the lineup you're going to face and not being able to ID that one guy. Right side, Guzman. Two out.
Season stats tell you one thing. You start to build your plan, then you look at the current stats, and then you actually look at the guy's mannerisms in the box and how did he hit the night before and what kind of things are upsetting him, and you finally develop a feel for this is the exact plan for tonight and for this moment. So scouting reports and the data are a place to start, but there's still adjustments to be made as you watch people play right in front of you.
Chris Taylor takes a strike. You know, Chris Sale doesn't look at opposing scouting reports, doesn't come up with plans tailored to the hitters he's facing. Part of that is Chris Sale has otherworldly stuff, but he says the main reason is that he doesn't want to have any drop in conviction. He wants to know what is good for him and pitch with 100% conviction regardless of what the book says on the other guy. 2-1.
Rick Honeycutt's of the belief that when he sees a scouting report or when he sees the data come in, he wants to see those pitches, where that stuff originated. So a guy might be a good breaking ball hitter, but when he goes back and looks at the exact video, the ones that they're hitting are the hanging breaking balls, and Clayton Kershaw doesn't throw many of those. You know, the guy might be a good off-speed hitter on the changeup, but you know, when we had Zach Greinke, his changeup was other world changeup, so you can't go completely on the data. So there's an ego about it with pitchers that they say, not my curveball, not my slider, not my changeup.
Machado with a home run on the first pitch of this inning, 32nd of the year, giving the Dodgers a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the fourth. Solo homers from Bellinger and Machado and a 2-0 Dodger lead. Joe Orel and Alana back in Texas. Lightning quick road trip. Dodgers headed back home as soon as this one finishes. Ball one on Elvis Andrus. Trying to sweep the season series over Texas. Won the 2 games at Dodger Stadium in June. Of course, last night 8-4. Flipped into center. Hernandez. Alex Wood starting tonight against the guy that he relieved in his major league debut. Mike Minor broke in together with the Atlanta Braves, and it was a Minor start against the Toronto Blue Jays. Wood came on in relief and made that debut a year after he was drafted out of Georgia. Omar Mazzara, ball one. 2 full seasons in Atlanta for Alex. Traded to the Dodgers in 2015. And a 13-player deal. Gets a chase here, 1-1. Ball 2.
Alex has always had a funky delivery, kind of rocking shoulders, quick separation of the hips and shoulders. He's not going to let anybody change him. And I'm glad they didn't. Not many pitchers start with their front shoulder down as much as Alex and then rock back as deep with the back shoulder as you get ready to load.
Soft contact to Dozier. His momentum takes him on to first. 2 up and 2 down.
2 most famous ones that used a delivery like Alex, at least from the windup. Roger Clemens and Dennis Martinez had a kind of little shimmy shake over the rubber as they came, step back into their windup, and Alex doesn't use the windup, but step back into the windup, drop their front shoulder, and then recover loading the back shoulder before they left the rubber area. Alex kind of does that from the stretch by just kind of rocking into it.
2 gone for Beltre. 1 ball, no strikes.
Having that extra movement sometimes can throw off your timing, as we take a look at on Carl's cam. There goes the shoulder in the back. The front shoulder starts low, the back shoulder then dips, which then loads the hips, having the hips and legs drive him towards home plate, and then he unwinds the whole thing after foot strike.
So still plenty of funk in there, but simpler than in previous years when he had 2 different deliveries, and especially in the windup you'd see how funky he was. Well, it's time. Grandal will come out. Said he had an epiphany last year late in the season watching Steven Strasburg pitch exclusively from the stretch, where the Dodgers were playing a game at Nationals Park, and he was sitting with Brandon McCarthy and said, you know what, now that I think about it, who decided it'd be a good idea to have 2 different deliveries when you could just have 1 to work on? And toyed around with the idea first month or so of the offseason. When he started his throwing program up in December, decided to follow Strasburg and a few other guys' example and scrap his windup. And he stuck to his guns, even with some of the ups and downs through the middle part of the year. It's down the middle for strike 2.
Really an interesting visit for me. I'm intrigued about what that subject matter was about. Almost felt like to me that Alex tweaked something somewhere in his body and he needed a little time.
Well, whatever it was, he was able to pitch through it, and he's got back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings.
Before we can look ahead to the Arizona Diamondbacks, it is now time to look ahead, brought to you by Wells Fargo. As far as the probables are concerned, a bit of a change here, but tomorrow it's going to be Rich Hill against Robbie Ray. Hyunjin Ryu will go on Friday against former Dodger Zach Greinke. Then Clayton Kershaw actually pitching on Saturday. Originally it was going to be on Friday. He'll go up against Patrick Corbin, and then Walker Buehler will finish off the series on Sunday against Clay Buchholz. Originally, guys, Clayton Kershaw thought to be going on Friday. They wanted to give him an extra day of rest, but also more importantly, it lines him up to face the Colorado Rockies in the first game of that series, so Clayton will not pitch against the Mets.
All right, Alana, that time of year where it's very important to get things lined up optimally. Yasiel Puig grounds the first pitch into the dugout. Oro, looking back at some replays, you might have been onto something with what Alex would call time for.
Might be on the right side, on the glove side. You see him right there, just trying to stretch it out.
And this is right after that. The windmill, come on out.
Maybe he's getting a little cramp in there, or maybe tweak something. Better that side than the other side.
1-2 on Puig. Near the bottom of the order here in a National League ballpark, you'd get a bit of a preview on how significant it may be, but a DH here, no pitchers hitting. So we won't see until it's time for him to come back out on the bottom of the 5th. We go for 1 tonight and 6 for his last 35. Said the heat here is comparable to Cuba. It's just, at least in Cuba on field level, there's a little more breeze. Looks at strike 3. He's the first out of the 5th. Let's go down to Alana.
Guys, Yasiel Puig obviously not suspended, or else he wouldn't be playing in this game, but he did have that appeal hearing yesterday. Dave Roberts thought that the decision for Major League Baseball might come down either yesterday or today. No decision has been down yet. Dave Roberts expects to hear it in a few days. He said the decision, though, has been delayed. He's not certain exactly how long it's going to take, but no word as whether or not that suspension will be upheld or not.
All right, Alana, here's Bellinger. First pitch curve misses up.
Suspension is more severe prior to September 1st. If they take a little bit more time to decide what they're going to do and we get past September 1st, it'll at least be a fuller roster.
Here's 1-1. Bellinger taps it to second, and Odor, he gets him just in time. Minor tonight, 7 Ks. That's already more than the Dodgers had all of last night. One of those strikeouts came against Yasmani Grandal, who hits with 2 gone and the base is empty. Yasmani now hitless in his last 11 at-bats, and in his last 20 games below 120. Two and up. Ball 3. Four-pitch walk. Second free pass issued by Minor. And here's Dozier. Talking last night about Dozier's Hollywood hair. He said the key in game is just a lot of hairspray. So when he takes that hat off, looks like it hasn't moved, because it probably hasn't.
He's that conscious about making sure it looks good when the hat's off.
Backdoor for a strike, 1-1. And he said it probably falls somewhere in the middle of our 2 theories. I said you're born with Hollywood hair like that. You said it takes a big league paycheck to get there. I said a little bit of both and a lot of hairspray.
He is a really good guy. I got to spend some time with him at Clayton Kershaw's ping pong for challenge.
Turns this ball around high in the air to left, but playable for Chu, shy of the warning track. We're halfway home in Texas on a pair of solo homers. The Dodgers lead it 2-0.
brought to you by Infinity. Empower the drive.
Jerks and Profar to start the bottom of the 5th for the Rangers, and a good sign. Alex Wood is back out there for the Dodgers.
Really good sign when only 2 balls have left the infield. A lot of ground ball outs from Alex Wood.
Gets a chase here from Profar. 0-1.
The way he handled whatever was bothering him to stay in the game, not call the trainer out, just, hey, Yaz, can you give me some time out here? Let's have a conversation. I'm just guessing, and I'm not Dr. Oral, but I'm just guessing maybe a cramp.
Inspector Oral. Popped up. Short center field, Brian Dozier. 1 away in the 5th. It's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Looking at some of Alex's night.
He has been absolutely fantastic. 76% strikes. And if you think it's just the fastball, no. The curveball's been a strike almost 84% of the time that he throws it. So they're either chasing it or he's landing it. That's a tough equation for the Rangers.
Here he comes to Kiner Falefa with ball 1. Falefa singled his first time, and Wood has retired everybody since. Now, while this Rangers team is not good overall, 58-75, last place pretty much all year. I mentioned this last night. This is a lineup that's been very productive. In fact, leading baseball in runs per game since the All-Star break, close to 6 per night. Chopper to short for Chris Taylor. 2 up, 2 down. So far tonight, Alex Wood mowing them down. 4 2/3 shutout innings.
Ball still in the infield. Pop up to second, and now a ground ball to short. We talked about pregame how important it is to locate, especially for Alex Wood, down in the strike zone here. Now the ballpark, the ball's not carrying these 2 games like we've seen it carry in Texas. So a little different wind configuration that has kind of held some mistakes in the ballpark. But Alex Wood, he is not avoiding mistakes. He's just making good pitches, getting it hit on the ground.
That's what he got first time he faced this guy, Guzman. Here he gets strike 1. Got it to bounce into a double play. Strike 2. Wood to Guzman. The changeup that misses low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
2-strike count for Alex. He's got 10 swings and misses so far tonight. 6 on the breaking ball. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to it right here.
Instead of fastball, and it's 2-2.
And change-up fastball so far. Still got the breaking ball in his pocket. Started him out with breaking balls.
Went back to it to finish him off. And Alex Wood has retired 10 straight. He's got a 2-0 lead to the 6th in Texas. Mike Minor's pitched well tonight. He's struck out 7 through 5 and allowed just 2 hits. Unfortunately for him and the Rangers, both left the yard. Bellinger a 3rd inning home run. Machado a homer in the 4th. On to the 6th. It's Turner, Machado, and Kemp. against the 30-year-old from Tennessee. He drops one inside, ball one. One of 7 kids, Mike Minor. Born to Mike and Shirley, Chapel Hill, Tennessee. 4 brothers, couple sisters. Falls behind Turner 2-0. Chapel Hill has 2 stoplights. They've got 3 gas stations and a Sonic drive-in. That's a strike, 2-1. The big congregation spot for the high school kids was the Shell gas station. They pull out their pickup trucks together, drop the tailgates down, and kind of congregate there on the tailgate, talk about life. Three and one. The big parties in Chapel Hill were field parties. They pull those same pickup trucks out into the open fields and start a fire and sit around the campfire.
Talk about life.
That's it. A lot of talking about life. 3-1 to Turner and a leadoff walk. Up comes Manny Machado, and it's time for the Coors Light refreshing finish. His home run, number 32 this season.
Attacking the first pitch. Both Dodger runs have come on first pitch swinging. Bellinger and then Machado. His refreshing finish was a whole bunch of high fives.
Action in the Rangers bullpen.
Pitch count creeping up there for somebody they're trying to be real careful with.
Tried to backdoor him with a cutter but missed. Manny's going to have a really good shot at, with his hot stretch here, career highs in homers and RBIs. He's at 32 and 87 currently. Career best 37-96 was in 2016. You used to check stuff like that on the hitters you were facing, right? See if they were chasing anything like that.
End of the year.
Hard ground ball at short. Andrews feeding on Door on a double play. 6-4-3.
Guy had 29 home runs and never hit 30. You want to know that in the last week of the season if you're facing him. If a guy had incentives in the day for 100 RBIs and he was hanging at 96 and you had him with runners in scoring position, not necessarily going to have to throw him any strikes. I think they'll be swinging. It's a little early right now, but it's getting close, depending on how emotional the guy is and tied up into his stats.
Kemp with 2 out. And you were a pitcher. You are a doctor. You are a psychologist.
I don't know about that, but I tried to learn from the people around me, because if my hitters were talking about it, then the opposing team was.
Popped into shallow center field. Tochi settles under it, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Carl's Jr. Back in the Metroplex. We're in Arlington. 2-0 Dodgers and a couple solo home runs. Joe Orel and Alana with you. As Alex Wood goes back to work. 5 shutout innings under his belt so far tonight. He pours in a strike to the 9-hitter Carlos Tochi. He's not given up a base runner since the 2nd. Strike two. And he's had that thing working, hasn't it?
It's got another gear tonight. It starts breaking, it keeps breaking, and then it finishes.
Really good to see him lock back in and be efficient like this after inefficiency was kind of the hallmark of the last start. 2-2.
It's really hard to be at this point in the game and have 64 pitches, and that's all. I mean, that is every inning not searching for it. Knowing exactly what you're doing.
Ground ball left side. Taylor gets it with a backhand. That one gets by. Tochi's aboard to start the sixth. That'll be an infield single for Carlos. Setting things up for the top of the Texas order.
Caught a break. This throw gets away from Bellinger and hits the facing of the camera well, the low part.
Actually, Jeff Bannister's arguing that it got out of play and that Tochi should have second. And the umpiring crew is going to get together to discuss.
We'll see where the ball lands now.
They're going to give him second. So Ted Barrett discussing with Cody Bellinger the ground rule over there.
Must not have been the facing. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, it hit deeper in the camera well. The bracing that's back about 3 feet into the camera well on the ledge there. It looks like it hit.
And now Dave Roberts wants an explanation. Got one quickly. Sean Barber.
There's a railing to help you up and down the steps there, and I think it hit the railing right there.
Single E6. A runner in scoring position against Wood with nobody out here in the sixth inning in the top of the Texas order with Shin-Soo Choo. Wood delivers. Choo bunts it in the air. Wood's gonna make the catch, and the Dodgers catch a break.
It's hard to stabilize your eyes running off the mound. You run down the mound, and those first few steps, your head starts jiggling. Now you're on flat ground. It feels different. Alex does a good job keeping his balance and his eyes locked on the ball.
And a guy with 21 home runs this year, representing the tying run, ends up giving himself up. And now it's Odor. 15 of his 17 home runs have come since late June after his nightmare first couple of months. He's been one of the top 5 hitters in the American League. Some smiles up there. All the infielders with smiles. Discussion led by Alex Wood. He's the only one of the bunch that didn't crack a smile there.
I have no idea. Unless he changed the signs to something really complicated and they're like, I'm not sure they're picking him up yet.
Here he comes to Odor with strike one. Yeah, you can see that being the conversation with Wood's intensity and the infielders having a smile at the level of that intensity in a given situation.
I had a conversation like that with Mike Social once. I came out there and I was really intense. I said, I think we should pitch out right here and you should backdoor pick off to first base. It was like first and second, one out. He goes, man, just get your sinker down and get a ground ball double play, would you?
Odor gets under this. It'll become a souvenir, and it's 0-2.
So Social left the meeting before Tracy Woodson, who was playing first base at the time, and I turned to Tracy and I said, who made him captain? Why can't I call a play?
And Tracy said,
he didn't say anything at the time. He was a young player. Mike was of the KISS principle, keep it simple. I'm not saying stupid.
0-2. I was going to say, I think there's another letter in there.
Yeah.
First traffic against Alex Wood since the second inning tonight. Not a whole lot of room to work with. Dodgers only 2 hits, both solo home runs against Minor. Been somewhat of a trend. Dodgers typically haven't gotten much support for Wood. Here comes the 1-2 to strike out Odor.
A swing and miss at a breaking ball. The majority of those swings and misses have been on this pitch. It's not just because it's breaking, but he is locating it perfectly.
One of his best nights for his breaking ball this year.
And one of the best nights of stuff and location. The whole kit and caboodle he's got tonight.
The whole what?
Kit and caboodle. I don't know what it means. I just heard it in my family growing up.
He's got it for sure.
I'm getting support from the truck on well-known phrase.
Ball on Andrews. I guess this one on.
It's like when you drop Aqua on me as a band and I'm like, what? It's a color.
It's both.
Okay. There's a lot of words that are both something and a band.
2-0. Alex wants a new ball. Rangers had Tochi at second with nobody out. Wood trying to pitch around it. Set the knees, 2-1. And these are the situations Alex has been so much better in over these last 2 months. One of the worst strand rates in baseball the first 2 months. The guy got on. A lot of times they were scoring. On a 2-1. Just outside, ball 3. Full count.
The Wikipedia definition for kit and caboodle is interpreted as everything and more.
That's Wikipedia?
Mm-hmm. Well, not officially. It's Wikipedia through a 3x5 car I put in front of me.
Stays 3-2. You struck me as more of an Urban Dictionary guy.
I didn't look it up. I've got to come clean.
Dylan Floro starting to loosen. Alex Wood having to work more in the 6th inning than any other inning tonight. Mazzara waits on deck and a 2-0 game. Here comes a payoff. He walked him. So the tying run aboard as Mazzara comes up. First walk tonight for Alex. Comes with 2 out in the 6th. So it's the left-handed batting Mazzara. After him, it's a right-handed hitter in Beltre, but Wood has struck him out both times. So an opportunity for him here to get out of this jam.
Alex Wood and Yasmani Grandal just had a conversation. I'm sure it was, we've done this, we've done that. Alex saying, I'm comfortable starting here and then finishing here. You make a plan, but then you see what happens in reality, and then you got to adjust.
He's got a couple soft ground outs from Mazzara tonight. And he gets a swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt for strike 1.
Most of the lefties he's had chasing that low breaking ball. What you have to determine after you have shown your pattern, is this guy going to adjust, or is this guy just going to continue to swing the way he is? And look like Alex with that first pitch says, you know what, I'm going to go with what's still working, even if he knows what's coming.
Gets in on his hands, and a soft bouncer to Dozier has Alex Wood through the 6th. Still nothing against him in the late innings in Texas. 2-0.
Spend Labor Day at Chavez Ravine when the Dodgers open a 3-game series with the Mets. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a cooler bag presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. Night is finished for Mike Minor. Here's Alex Claudio.
Been on a little bit of a roll. The overall statistics don't look that great with the 4.75 ERA, but his last 7 1/3 innings, he's only given up 2 earned runs.
Last couple of years, he's been one of the top relievers in their bullpen. Just by far the worst year of his career. Fellow Puerto Rican Kike Hernandez taking strike 1 from Claudio.
Alex Wood used to be the funkiest left-hander in the game.
Silver medal ain't bad, but you're right. One on one.
Do not try this at home.
Falls behind Kike, 2-1. Kike 0 for 2 tonight, following the back-to-back 3-hit games. On this 2-1 pitch, he pulls the trigger and rips it foul. 2-2.
We're in that portion of the game now for the Dodger offense where they're looking for those tack-on runs, especially against these teams that you are supposed to beat, that are so crucial right now. You don't want the nail biter down the end, especially with Kenley Jansen trying to find himself.
Sharply hit, backhand Andrews. High throw, but good thing for him. Guzman is 7 feet 14 inches. And there's one away in the 7th. Double check that for me.
With an extra, but an extra long glove and a base to stand on.
Then he is that. Yeah. Now he's officially 6'5".
It's 7-1 with the glove, extra 6 inches of the glove, and then another 2 inches from the bag.
7-14.
Exactly.
One gone for Taylor.
Pool or pond, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
One ball and no strikes. Bunts through it. 1-1. Years old today for a guy who has always had dreams of being a major leaguer. When he was in first grade, the teacher had the students write their first autobiography, but from the perspective of a 40-year-old them. That's driven to right center field and caught by Mazzara awkwardly. Anyways, Chris predicted that he'd go on to play in the majors. And he even took it a step farther than that and said that he would get drafted by Seattle. As a first grader, he wrote that. And that happened. Two outs. Here's Puig.
These at-bats after strikeouts for the Dodger hitters are interesting to me. They have a pretty good pattern going right now of quality at-bats after some frustration. Chris Taylor with the hard line out to right. His prior at-bat was a strikeout. Justin Turner had a strikeout. The next at-bat was a walk. Yasmani Grandal had a strikeout. The next at-bat was a walk. Machado had a strikeout. The next at-bat was a home run. They're not snowballing in a game and having one bad at bat turn into another one. Dave Roberts talked about that with the offense getting going and saying it doesn't really matter the opponent. I'm seeing so many quality at bats one after the other, and it really became a point of emphasis after the struggles against St. Louis. But now the team as a whole has really said we are not going to do that.
Puig smacks a ball to the gap in right center field. It makes its way to the wall. Picked up by Tolchi. Puig headed for third. Relay from Odor's cut off. Puig's got a triple. Boy, he went into third really hard.
Yasiel Puig with a quality at bat. What a beautiful swing to stay on the ball low and away and drive a line drive to right center. And he doesn't give up at second, even though there's two outs already in scoring position. Wow, that is some firm landing gear. He almost stuck in the dirt and dropped his chin right into it.
Gotta be careful with that tongue out like that. Bite that thing off.
Yeah, he almost needs a mouth guard for the slide. Oh, left arm getting tucked under. Oh. He needs foam on the runway.
2 out chance. Cody Bellinger. He can't lay off a sweeper for a strike.
Puig grounding second. The fire engines are out on the runway. They're checking. They're foaming it. Here he comes.
Quickly 0-2. Statcast AI powered by AWS looks back at Bellinger's home run earlier tonight that opened the scoring. That's how the Dodgers have gotten both runs. Solo shot from him, solo shot from Machado. Ouch. There's a Puig-like faceplant up there.
It's not as bad on grass.
No. Here comes Puig! The wild horse out at home! perhaps a calculated risk with the left-hander not paying a lot of attention, but it ultimately doesn't work.
Not looking at him at all. He gets a great break. He's about a step and a half short. What an effort.
Beltre against Alex Wood, strike one. Look back at that attempt of stealing home by Yasiel Puig. Oh, what a snatch at third base by Manny Machado.
It is the hot corner, and he's playing a deep hot corner. Gives him a little time to track that one as it comes at him like a missile with a little curve.
One gone, seventh inning. Jurickson Profar now. Taking ball one, and here is that play at the plate.
Stepped off on the mound and delivered the pick to home when he can, since he's running there. As soon as you disengage, you can throw it anywhere you want. If you're going to use it as part of a delivery and a pickoff, you can only go to where the runner is. So if he would have turned and went to throw to third and he wasn't there, didn't go to home, we would have made it. Plus, I think it would also have been a balk if he didn't step off.
2-0, and given the overall situation there of the 0-2 count, Bellinger not looking good on the first two strikes. Good baseball play, or at least okay.
Really exciting play.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a good baseball play. Yeah, with the 2 strikes, 2 out, and Bellinger's 2 swings looked like they were cripple swings at the time. He just really was in slow motion, like he was swinging the bat underwater. Couldn't read the breaking ball.
3-1.
They were playing so far off the line at third base, he could wander off as far as he wanted. Left-handed pitcher on the mound, had his back to him. He wasn't looking at him at all. LCL just kept creeping. He got to a point where he decided to start. Maybe another step and a half of creep before he goes. Maybe he makes it.
That ball hooks foul. Full count.
The infielders or his catcher are not going to yell step off until Yasiel actually breaks. So you see how that creeping got into a certain place. And you see how he needed about 5 more feet to be safe.
Winds up being a really nice play by Claudio, the pitcher, to calmly step off.
Step off and deliver it home. Yep. Because you're looking for the flinch too, not only stealing home but looking for a balk.
Leadoff walk for Profar, or 1-out walk for Profar. Beg your pardon. Second walk issued by Wood tonight. And the Rangers get the tying run up there in the form of Kiner Falefa. Rangers out hitting the Dodgers in this game, 4-3. 4 singles for Texas, 2 homers and a triple for the Dodgers. One ball, no strikes. Alex Wood, 1 game after managed to go just 4 innings. Chance to finish off 7. Bounce to second. Dozier backs up, gets the out at second, and that's all. 2 out.
Fans become part of the Dodger family in 2019. Purchase season tickets to enjoy exclusive experiences throughout the season and guarantee your seats for promotional nights and exciting matchups, including the Cubs and the Yankees. Receive 2018 postseason rights also with your purchase of the 2019 season tickets. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets.
Ronald Guzman with a man at first and 2 out and a 2-0 game in the 7th. He takes strike 1. Scott Alexander has started to get ready. The top of the order for the Rangers, which is 2 spots away. 3 of the first 4 are left-handers. The Woods pitch count climbing past 90. Guzman fouls it. It's 0-2.
It was an interesting piece of the conversation down there in the bullpen. Mark Pryor going over the scouting report, maybe of the very first hitter that he possibly could face, and then Scott Alexander pointing to the bullpen catcher. This is the pitch I want to work on. So make sure you get that one. That's a large portion of the scouting report where you want to attack, ready for that first batter you might face.
Against the majors' top offense since the All-Star break. Alex Wood 6 2/3, no damage. Set for the 0-2. Guzman takes this one, ball 1. The 1-2 down the left field line, foul.
Left that breaking ball up right there, and you might want to give yourself a little room if you really believe that's where you want to go to get him out. And the way to get some more room is to throw a fastball up and in.
Sticks with one low. Grandal blocks it. Two balls, 2 strikes on the powerful Ronald Guzman. Representing the tying run for the Rangers here in the 7th. Here comes Alex Wood. And the count goes full.
Large portion of the fans here are Dodger fans, so they're having a tough time rallying up the Ranger fans here in a big moment.
Barely got a piece.
He's at 10 swings and misses tonight on that breaking ball. That's the most he's had all year. That shows how sharp it's been.
Can he get one more? Popped up. Fading away from Machado. Out of room. It's the deepest at bat of any Rangers hitter tonight. Next pitch will be the 9th. Kinder Falefa off first. 3-2. High drive center field. No big deal. Kike Hernandez. Alex Wood, 7 shutout innings tonight. In the heat of a pennant race. A 2-0 lead for the Dodgers to the 8th. Not a whole lot on there. Just 3 hits for the Dodgers, but 2 of them home runs. Almost identical shots to straightaway center field onto the grass berm from Bellinger in the 3rd. from Machado in the 4th. And then on the other side of the bill, Alex Wood follows up one of his worst outings of the year with 7 shutout innings.
Absolutely fantastic tonight from Alex, and a lot of pressure as you go into the Arizona series, but you sure don't want to kill the momentum tonight, and he has kept it going and given his team a chance to win this game and to really sweep this short series, coming off the sweep of San Diego.
Bellinger to start this 8th inning for the Dodgers. It's up there in an 0-2 hole against Claudio, and the 7th ended with Puig getting caught trying to steal home. Dodgers were 4.5 games out of first place entering this 5-game stretch against last place teams. Bounced along first. Easy play, Guzman. Bellinger the first out of the 8th. You kind of looked at that 5-game series saying you need to win, or the 5-game stretch saying you need to win at least 4 out of them. And then when you win the first 4, you say you need to win all 5. Set yourself up for a happy flight home and really good standing going into that game with Arizona tomorrow.
Especially when your other 2 contenders are going 1-3.
Right. Ball 1 on Grandal. Diamondbacks just about set to get started. They've not scored in 23 innings. Grandal turns one around. Left center field. That ball is gone. 3rd solo shot of the night for the Dodgers, and a 3-0 lead in the 8th.
Left-handed starter on the mound for the Rangers today. Yasmani Grandal in there still. Dave Roberts loving the way he's swinging the bat from both sides of the plate, so he doesn't have a night off. He has a night on. And that is a beautiful tack-on run.
Snaps an 0 for 11 with his 22nd home run of the season. It chases Claudio. Back in a moment. Back in Texas, the Dodgers have taken a 3-0 lead, and here comes the former San Francisco Giant Corey Guerin into the game. 3 solo homers tonight for LA. Top of the order, Brian Dozier. Strike 1. Let's go Dodgers, raining through Texas. 1-1. And they're given plenty of time. Corey Guerin, one of the slowest workers in baseball. This match is total from last year. Two and 1. Dodgers have seen a bunch of Corey Guerin. Kenley Jansen waits. Dodgers saw Guerin 5 times in San Francisco. Didn't give up a run in his 4 outings. Here comes with his 2-1. Noteworthy that Jansen is still in the Dodger dugout at this point.
Yeah, I started to speculate, are they going to go Scott Alexander and then going to be Maeda? And then when I saw Kenley stick his head out of the dugout there and start resting on the railing, I'm like, okay, he's not in the bullpen, so he has the night off. Everybody on the team probably agrees that Yasiel should have tried to steal home the way he did and got so close.
Dozier strokes one to right center. Azar runs down.
But that will not stop them from kidding around with him about it. They have some more material.
Of course, the head first slide into third provided plenty of material too, or the chin first slide, I should say.
He's lucky he has a really strong neck. He can take that impact.
Strong neck, thick beard. Turner. You know, it sets up an interesting dynamic for the Dodgers and Dave Roberts and Kenley Jansen, if indeed Kenley Jansen isn't pitching tonight. His next outing is going to come in the biggest series of the season. What situation will it come in? Can they get him a blowout game where he can kind of ease back into it, or is the game going to necessitate that he's at his very best?
That'll be part of the conversation with Kenley and Rick Honeycutt and Dave Roberts, and I'm sure a few people in the front office.
Tonight with Jansen down, you can figure some combination of Alexander and Maeda. 2-1 on Turner.
Maybe Flora will be part of that conversation, or they need two guys to get through one inning.
A really interesting note. The last 10 games, the Dodger bullpen outside of Kenley Jansen has a sub-2 ERA. Aaron's 2-1, misses badly.
Bullpens are like umpires. You only notice them when they do a bad job. You do come to appreciate them over the long haul and what you take for granted, and they get it done, but they're very appreciated until all of a sudden you look up and they've done it for a long time, or they're not getting it done.
Turner takes the walk, his second tonight. And Machado comes up. Underway in San Francisco, where the Giants have Rookie of the Year candidate Derek Rodriguez on the mound. Strike one. Say candidate, probably not necessarily the case. Same thing with Buehler. You can say candidate, but probably not going to win it because of what Acuna and Soto are doing. Ball on a strike. Well, we talk about this all the time because it seems like every night gives us an opportunity to. But the young talent in this game right now, it's incredible.
It's fun to watch. The game is in a very good place.
Turner at first, 2 out. ball 2. Talking Rookie of the Year chase in the National League. As far as Cy Young goes, seems like Jacob deGrom, even on a losing team, is kind of pulled out in front.
We're starting to see articles written about the death of the W. And how the awards for pitchers not even coming close to what your decisions are, more all the statistics around those, or lack thereof.
Matt Moore, old Giant as well. Here comes a 2-2 to Manny Machado. Seems like a 3-horse race. Ball in the National League East right now as far as Cy Young, between deGrom, Scherzer, and Nola. But if there's ever a case for a pitcher to win Cy Young on one of the worst teams in the league, deGrom's making it.
The most famous one would probably be maybe Steve Carlton. I think he won like a third of the Phillies games one year.
Machado down swinging. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers have added one and another home run. This one from Grandal. Studio for a preview of Access SportsNet Dodgers.
All right, thanks, Joe. Last night, the Dodgers had 15 hits, 11 singles. Tonight, just 4 hits, but 3 of them home runs, trying to make them stand up, Ned.
You also got Alex Wood pitching great to shut out Texas at home. Not easy to do.
These two guys will break it down. We'll see you soon, right after the game.
Yeah, Ned's right. These guys are averaging 6 runs a game in the second half, and especially good in this ballpark. Scott Alexander had a perfect inning of relief last night. Here he is for the bottom of the 8th in a 3-0 game.
Perfect stuff for here. Gets a lot of ground balls.
9-hitter Tochi takes ball 1.
Almost more than anybody in the big leagues. Tochi leading off for the 3rd time, the way the rhythm of the game has gone.
That's a strike, 1-1. Inside corner, strike 2. Big bounce at a 3rd, but foul. All right. It was already a great night getting to come to the park. Now you get a souvenir. Alexander lets the 1-2 fly and gets Tochi swinging for the first out of the 8th.
Good start for Scott. He's living down there by the knees with movement.
Top of the order was Shin-Soo Choo. Taking a strike on the inside corner. 1-1. Strike two.
Eight pitches into the outing. You can have a lot of confidence in what Scott's doing if you're watching from Dave Roberts' seat, Rick Honeycutt's seat. Just how he's hitting all of his spots. The ball's got the correct action. It's coming out easy. He's not wandering around the mound kind of looking for himself. He's like, I got this.
A 2-2. Just off of the plate, full count.
A couple of great pitches and a couple of great takes. He threw these last two pitches in the same exact spot, but didn't get a bite.
That's what Chu does. Soft bounce to Bellinger. Race to the bag that Cody wins.
That is not an easy play. He's having to catch this ball, grab it quickly on a short hop. Even though it was high, it was a short hop, and then start his momentum towards first to eliminate the toss to Scott Alexander. And then using those wheels. This last chop, when you're reading this bounce right here, and then he's got to quickly grab it and change directions, you can easily start to confuse what thing to do first.
Bases empty, two gone. Rougned Odor. And Cody Bellinger is the only left-handed hitter in Dave Roberts' order tonight against the left-handed starting Mike Minor. And one of the big reasons, he said, was he liked Bellinger's defense at first with a left-handed heavy Rangers lineup. And it shows up in that situation, helping Alexander work a 1-2-3-8. Coming up, biggest series of the season starting, let's see, less than 24 hours from now. Diamondbacks coming in. Will the Dodgers perhaps be tied with Arizona? They lead this one. If they win, they'd be within a half game. And Arizona just getting started trying to avoid the sweep in San Francisco. Who would have thought we'd be asking that question at this point? But the Dodgers sitting 4.5 back less than a week ago. Jose Leclerc on to handle the ninth for Texas.
No travel day to get home. Back right at it tomorrow. The first class section of the charter plane going back to LA. The lights will all be on. The coaching staff will be prepping for all the meetings that they'll have tomorrow to get the team ready for the Diamondbacks.
Matt Kemp leads off this ninth inning for the Dodgers. And fouls back Leclerc's first one.
The interleague games take a little bit longer to prep for the coaching staff because you see the guys in your own division so much and in the National League. So they'll just be adjusting a lot of things, but every detail will be covered.
Check swing, Tapper to first. Leclerc covering. Kemp the first out. Robbie Ray is scheduled to go for Arizona tomorrow. Ray has not had close to the same kind of season he did last year, although much better lately. Held Seattle to a run over 5 innings in his last start. Now that said, Ray hasn't had a winning decision since June. Strike one on Kike Hernandez. And believe it or not, even with all those head-to-head meetings over the first month, didn't face the Dodgers. Last year, Ray was a Dodger killer. Made 5 starts, went 3-0, had a .227. Kid. 1-2. Robbie Ray last year had 53 strikeouts in 31 innings against the Dodgers. Remember, the whole fear was you're going to have to face Robbie Ray in Game 1 of the division series, but they wound up having to burn him in the wild card game. Hernandez couldn't lay off. 2 out. You think I'm going crazy, huh? You were looking down at your paper when I made that noise. There was a shot of a kid on the screen sitting on his dad's lap, and his dad was tapping his foot really fast.
Bouncing him.
Taylor with 2 out.
I really never have thought you've had any issues.
That's probably not true. Love you, though. Thanks for saying that.
Love you too.
Strike 1.
Did we just have a moment?
We just become best friends. The wind's picking up again.
No, it's a lot easier for you. Got everything on an iPad. I got papers going everywhere. You don't have to paperweight anything down.
Players are saying that as windy as it is up there, they hardly feel any breeze on the field. And what breeze they feel feels like somebody turned the furnace on. 2 balls, 1 strike on Taylor. Just got to watch out for those haboobs down there. Two balls, 2 strikes. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Leclerc with a 1-2-3 top half. Or I'll take it like this is what I was referencing. The bouncing child. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Rangers. Dodgers looking for the sweep. This game goes to the bottom of the 9th with the Dodgers in front 3-0 and Kenta Maeda trying to save it.
One of the most amazing things I've learned about Kent is coming out of the bullpen, how much touch and feel he has right from the very first pitch. Confident, of course, in the slider, but the changeup that has been so outstanding this year. Having a great feel for that with all the adrenaline, knowing you're probably only throw about 17 to 25 pitches out there. He's got it right away.
They'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the Rangers lineup. Rangers have 12 hits in the 2 games in this series, but all of them singles. Dodgers tonight the opposite of that. They have 4 hits, a triple, and 3 home runs.
They put this game away and Maeda gets the save. It'll only be the 3rd time this year that the Dodgers have won while getting only 4 hits.
Goes to work against Elvis Andrus. Starts the 9th with strike 1. He's looking for his first traditional 9th inning save here. He has 1 career major league save. It was last year, but it was in a 7-2 game where he happened to pitch the final 4 innings. One ball and 1 strike. One and 2. Said it earlier, but worth mentioning again with Jansen having the night off. Rest of the bullpen, last 10 games, has a 1.78 ERA. On 1-2, Andrews takes ball 2. Elvis tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk. Against Alex Wood, who went 7 shutout innings. Alexander with a perfect 8th. Maeda for the 9th. Here's his 2-2. Starts the 9th with a strikeout.
There's a slang in the big leagues. The guys that have good sliders, average guys have sliders. Kenta Maeda has a slide piece. It's good enough to call it a piece. It's like a gun. He's just like, here, try and hit this.
One out from Mazzara. What do you call a fastball that has those kind of properties? That's not a fast piece.
Oh, it's not fast. I've only heard it with a slide piece. I've never heard a curveball piece or changeup piece. I've only heard it. He's got a slide piece.
Ball on a strike.
Fastballs are usually electric like stuff. Got a mean heater. I don't know, you're stretching me now. It's late in the game. You're stretching me.
But it's a fast game. You should still have plenty left in the tank.
Let's just talk cliches the rest of the game with 2 more outs.
A 1-1 pitch. Fouled off 1-2. Swept the Padres in a 3-game series. Really with just one worrisome night Saturday night where Jansen blew the save in the 9th inning. They'd win it after the power went out 1 pitch later. Blowout wins on Friday and Sunday. 8-4 in game 1 here. And now 3-0 lead, 2 outs away. Dave Roberts was calling for the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coming back inside with a 2-2 and it missed up. The count is full.
Three-run lead, already an out, 3-2 count. You don't want to give him a free pass. Whatever feels really good in your hand right here. Whatever you're confident with, you can throw a quality pitch. It's more than one and it fits the scouting report, go with that. Whatever feels good.
Slipped out of his hand, and it is a walk from Mazzara. Makes you feel how big that Grandal homer was. Created a bit of wiggle room. Still work to do for Texas as Beltre comes up with 1 on and 1 out.
A little bit of that theory that you talked about earlier with Chris Sale, that he didn't like to look at the scouting reports. He wanted to have the conviction in his stuff and what felt good and where he was going. And that's kind of the attitude I was hoping Kenta would have there. And he might have had that attitude, just didn't execute it.
The right-handed hitter up there in Beltre. Let's see if he can work with that slide piece. Tried to, but Beltre took it. Kept it looking down at the mound like he didn't like the footing there.
Well, it is different as a reliever. You come onto a manicured mound as a starter and you only have the opposing pitcher to worry about. And a lot of times you might work out of the same place and it fits perfectly because the clay's all groomed and solid then. But by the time you've had like 5 pitchers on the mound before you take it, you've got to sometimes build your own surface.
A 1-0. Smack to right center. That will split the gap. and make its way to the base of the wall to break up the shutout. Beltre with an RBI double, a 3-1 game, and the tying run to the plate for Texas.
Nice approach from Adrian Beltre, and portion of the results is the fact that the slider has been so good but not landing for a strike. When they're chasing it, you get the strikeout, but he hasn't thrown many for a strike, so kind of backed into something's going to be firm or something's going to be straight, disregarding the slider and attacking the fastball.
For the first extra base hit of the series for the Rangers. Beltre at second, one gone, and Jurickson Profar, who's homered 14 times this year, stands in. Ball one. Again, it appears no Kenley Jansen tonight. And you know that this is hard for him to watch, because in his mind, this ninth inning should belong to him. Not that he's disagreeing with Dave's decision, but he knows if he was right, it would be him. The 1-0. Got it in his hands for strike one.
When leading after 8, the Dodgers are 61-4. Still doesn't make this comfortable. Ball two. After Profar, they've put Joey Gallo in the on-deck circle. Top 5 in the American League in home runs. Will he represent the tying run or potentially the winning run? Fouled off, 2-2. Mazara walked, Beltre doubled. And a 2-2 count on Jurickson Profar. Here it is. We're used to seeing infielders maybe play a little deeper with a man on second, let him knock the ball down, but that run doesn't mean a thing. So the Dodgers are playing shallower to try and prevent Profar from reaching first with his speed. So they're playing in a little shallower just in case he hits the chopper and they can still get an out.
Another 2-2 pitch. Profar fouls it back.
Kenta is starting to find the range, but Profar is putting up a battle.
Two, outside full count. Next pitch will be the 8th to profile. Never easy. Not going to be over this final month. Buckle up.
Get the antacids out. Or at least get to the store to get them for the Arizona series.
They wouldn't hurt now. Tying run at the plate, 9th inning. Maeda to Profar, 3-2, and another foul ball.
You see Kenta after the foul ball kind of lift his eyes to the sky like, oh, I executed, that should get by him. Profar is really locked in right here.
Another 3-2 and a pop-up in front of the bag at second. Chris Taylor, and the Rangers are down to their last out.
Up and in fastball after up and in fastball. Fouled back, fouled back, fouled back, and finally got enough of it to hit it forward and just pop it up to get the out. Great job getting the pitch right back in there and above the belt.
And the nightly 9th inning adventure now finds Joey Gallo and his 34 home runs on the season, up there representing the tying run. Rick Honeycutt with Kenta's interpreter Will Ireton to deliver the scouting report on the pinch hitter.
We haven't seen any fly balls really carry here a long way, so trying to get Gallo to hit the ball to the opposite field or straightaway center field would be best if you're going to throw him something that he can get in the air. Of course, getting him to hit it on the ground would be better. Getting him to swing and miss after 2 strikes would be best.
Homers as frequently as anybody, but he also does that. He also strikes out as much as anybody.
Extra grace from home plate umpire Sean Barber as far as knowing that Rick Honeycutt needs to have his information interpreted.
Diamondbacks, by the way, have broken through, ending their 25-inning scoreless streak with a Steven Souza home run. Arizona 1, San Francisco nothing, 3rd inning. Here it's 3-1 Dodgers. Beltre taken off for 3rd. That's fun. With nobody home. Even draws a smile from Dave Roberts in the most tense of moments. Here we go. Maeda to Gallo with ball 1.
He will not get cheated if he decides to swing.
Nowhere close with either of the first 2 pitches. Ronald Guzman on deck. Also a guy with home run power, but not close to as scary as Gallo. Problem is, if he comes up, he represents the winning run. A 2-0.
Kenta might have been looking at the target for those 3 pitches, but I'm not sure his heart was in any of them.
Does he even bother trying to get back into the count? No. 4-pitch walk. Tying run aboard. Winning run to the plate. Guzman 0 for 3 tonight, but with 13 home runs here in his rookie year. And at this point, you're getting pretty good at watching the game through the cracks in your fingers, aren't you? Grounded sharply, but Bellinger's there to put an end to it. The Dodgers have matched a season high with a 5-game winning streak. Taking care of business against San Diego and Texas. And it's on to Arizona at Dodger Stadium tomorrow night.
Saved a homestand with that sweep of San Diego. This nice 2-game sweep here really sets them up for the series with Arizona. Job well done, guys, in getting back into this and making it tight.